Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Is your home on the market right now and not selling? Are you starting to feel a little bit frustrated? Is it causing you unnecessary confusion? Are you sitting there thinking, other homes are selling, my house is nicer, what about me? I'm Jill Biggs with the Jill Biggs Group. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I deal with personally all the time, especially here in Hudson County, New Jersey, which includes Hoboken, Jersey City, Weehawken, Union City, and every other town heading up and down the Gold Coast. So why isn't your home selling, and what should you do about it? So the truth is that in Hoboken, Jersey City, the Heights, Weehawken, etc., homes are selling. They're just not all selling in the same way. Some go fast, some have crazy bidding wars with multiple offers, some of them just sit. Why the difference? And ultimately, what can you do, what can we do to influence the outcome? It's not luck. And honestly, luck should never be what determines the sale of most people's greatest asset. Now, what does that really mean? So what's really happening in Hudson County right now? Let's start what's actually happening today in the market. Remember, markets are hyper-local. The reality is that Hudson County right now, it's not in a bad market. It's a selective market, it's hyper-specific, and it's based on multiple factors. So there are absolutely buyers out there. These buyers that are out are active, they're serious, but they're also super aware and they're paying attention. They're doing the research, everything is online. They're seeing properties, some properties that are sitting. They feel less panicked, a little bit more confused. They're taking time, they have a bit more time, so they can be a little bit more choosy, right? And honestly, they are looking for real guidance, someone to tell them what to do, right? They're aware of the inventory. They frequently see the inventory before we see the inventory. They've been watching days on market. They know when there's a price reduction and they feel like they know the pricing. So they're seeing the value, they're seeing what similar properties have traded for, and they feel it in their gut when something feels off. And that something really depends on who priced the house. So was it the seller? So you have sellers that just want to test the market. They have an aspirational price, a number. It's like a make me move mentality. They're happy to wait, right? Which may very well happen to them. And they're choosing an agent who was just happy to have a listing, an agent with plenty of time and very little strategy. So let's just list it and see what happens. That's a hard one. Let me let you in on a little bit of a secret. This rarely works, and it frequently ends in disappointment. So the seller either ends up disappointed, they blame the market, or more likely they blame their agent. And often they end up getting another realtor, a different strategy, a realtor who tells them the truth, right? A realtor who's a professional. So someone to guide them and provide them with a plan. And this plan includes data, advice on pricing, a plan that includes all the necessary improvements that they need to do. And if they can't do them, the help to complete the improvements, because these improvements ultimately get them more money and the outcome that they were originally looking for. Now, with homes that are priced correctly, homes that have been presented properly, homes that have put their best foot forward, you can tell these homes are the homes that are getting traffic. They're creating immediate excitement. They're getting clicks and saves, and ultimately they're getting offers. Frequently they're getting multiple offers and they get more desirable terms. People are waiving things. These are the properties that actually end up moving. And once you start sitting, you're playing a different game. I'm talking to you. Overpriced turkey. The less fortunate houses that haven't been prepped. For those homes, the future remains uncertain. These are the properties that end up accumulating days on market. And they get lowball offers, they get negotiated down on home inspection issues. And unfortunately, and this is very sad, they trade in the end for less desirable numbers. So let's get straight to it, right? There's only a few reasons, right, why a property, right, does or doesn't sell. The first thing that you do before listing your home is, hopefully, my suggestion is you have a professional, right, an expert come by and help you to make a list, right, and prepare a timeline, make the house look like the way that people want it to look. And what I mean by that is it should look like HGTV, right? When you're looking in a magazine, it might not be how you're living. It's probably not how I'm living, and especially if you have kids or pets, right? But you got this one shot. So pictures sell property, and first impressions really matter, right? You want to do that. A fresh coat of paint, decluttering, anything that's not the right size. And for us, we have a professional that comes by, and it's great that you live with your TV and your big 80-inch TV with your couch right opposite. But for 2 weeks, right, you're turning the sofa so that the house doesn't look like a hallway. You're putting everything where it is. It's you know, I eat on my sofa in front of the TV, right? But in a normal world, you have to overcome whatever concerns a buyer may have. And buyers are interested in, where am I gonna fit my dining room table? So if you don't have a dining room table, we have to put a dining room table. Like overcoming whatever the objections are. If you have open your closet and something comes out and hits you in the head, perhaps you take your off-season clothes and you put them into buckets and they take them to storage so your closets look like they're spacious, right? You're creating what people are looking for. And hopefully the next person, they will be spacious. They'll have less crap, but that's what I'm living. So you want to make sure presentation matters. And then after that, right, you're going to take a look with a professional. You have the expert come by, somebody who can talk to you about Hoboken or Jersey City or Weehawken or Union City or any area in Hudson County or Northern Bergen where we can advise you, what is the hyper-local market doing? What's my competition, right? Nobody goes out and looks at one property. Typically, they're gonna go out and they're gonna look at 6, right? And then they're gonna walk through and they're gonna compare them and they're gonna say, do I look better or worse than the one before? And if they have a smart expert advising them, right, they're gonna put them in order. They're gonna leave that day with their 1, 2, and 3rd choice, right? Because otherwise, when you look at a lot of property, it's like smelling different perfume. You know how that goes. You can't figure it out. I urge you to look at what the competition is, and that is what we do, and we want to know how we rank. And remember, when people are actually going to buy something, by the time that they're real buyers, right? They have a realtor. And a realtor who's smart is setting them up in a search and taking into account everything that they're looking for. And it is important, right, that all of your must-haves, your things, what people are looking for, whether you have parking, if there's an elevator, if you have a driveway, a garage, everybody has their own list of what is important to them. And so when your agent, your smart, expert, serious agent is setting up the search, they're putting the things that are important to their buyer in there. So if you haven't presented and fact-checked and you're not making sure that you're feeding everywhere on the internet, and if I'm confusing anyone, you know, I'm always here to answer more questions. People are searching, right? And they're out there, and everybody, right, loves to look at real estate online. Me, right? I like to wander into open houses. So everybody has all of the info. And if you don't have parking and somebody asks for parking, right, you'd best have an agent who is finding you parking or listing the local garages where that people can park, because otherwise maybe they're not seeing you, right? And you need, more than anything, exposure. If people don't see you, how are they going to find you, right? And so you have to look, right? Look good, then make sure that you are presented well. See how you compare to your competition, right? So that when they go better or worse, that you're ahead of the pack. That is how you get offers. So if you put yourself on the market at a price that is unrealistic, right? Or let's start with really unrealistic. What ends up happening is nothing. You sit there, nobody comes, very little traffic. And you sit there and you sit there and you sit there. And then, I don't know, like, what's the plan here? Are you gonna pull it and have a price reduction, right? Because remember, that doesn't go away. The history is sitting there with the property. And you have smart buyers. Everybody can look up everything. So you don't want that to happen to you. So pricing it with data, looking at what the area right around you has sold for, and I really do mean the area right around you. Depending on where you are, right, we can take a property that is twice as big as us and use that as our comp or our pricing strategy, right? We have to make adjustments and look in what is the closest area, what is in my school district, what has the list of things that I have, outdoor space, an elevator, parking, amenities, or maybe you're a walk-up. If you're a 5th floor walk-up and you're using your ground floor that has a backyard, right, to price your home, it's probably not going to work out for you. So it's why you get a professional with a professional opinion, and you're looking at data and you're comparing through pictures, and you have an understanding more than what has sold, because what has sold is in the past, right? Now, it's great. You can have a look back for the last 3-6 months tops, but you have to look at what is currently on the market and what is going under contract, because most people, most buyers are getting a mortgage. And if they're getting a mortgage, right, after the offer comes in, they're going to have the bank come through, and the bank is going to want to support the pricing. So not only do you have to get an offer, right, but you have an appraisal. And therefore, right, a property is worth what a property is worth. It's what the market will bear. If you put yourself at a crazy number, no traffic, you just sit. Well, if you put yourself on the market and you have 150 people come through and nobody makes an offer, right? Then you're also, right? You're a little bit high, right? At that point, right? You're working with an expert who's going to be giving you data and feedback, and then you'll make an adjustment. But you certainly don't want to chase the market down. And remember this, it's an inconvenience to sell your home. It's incredibly stressful. So as the seller, right, when you live there, you make everything look perfect, hopefully, right? And it's like Instagram, right? You're seeing the best pieces of everybody, because I don't know, maybe they made themselves thinner, they lifted up their cheekbones, they fixed their hair. Well, that is how you want your unit to be. So remember, if you have a tenant who is in your home and you're selling a tenant-occupied home, they don't have the same feelings. They don't want to clean the house. They don't want to have every 15 minutes somebody come through and interrupt their life when they're renting from you. So you gotta be thoughtful, right? And perhaps partner with somebody that is going to get the tenant on your side. You know, have a realtor who has a plan of how are you going to get the tenant to the next place, perhaps coordinating with the tenant. So you go on the market for while they're away for a week so that it doesn't ruin their life. Because if things don't look so good, and I have absolutely seen it, right? Or the tenant becomes frustrated and cancels every other appointment, you could significantly limit your offers, your traffic, and in the end, your money, right? Like, you gotta put some thought. Timing matters, tenants matter, presentation matters. We also have, like, I have a lot of kids. I mean, my kids are big now, but I remember what it was like at dinner time. Well, FYI, when you're selling your house, if you're living in your house, it will also be dinner time. And there will be people that will want to come and look at the house at dinner time, right? I'm talking to you. That's the day that you take your kid out to dinner, right? It is totally fine, give two options. You know, we can do Tuesday and Thursday. But if you have to have a second showing and you make it difficult for the buyer to get in, what do you think happens? They don't buy your house, right? So these are things, right, that you have to go in with a plan, work with a professional, get advice, make a schedule, timeline of everything that's going to happen, right? You're listing on whatever day, right? You're going to have open houses, and that means you're not going to be sitting on the sofa during the open house with your agent, because people don't buy property if there's somebody in the house. They have to feel like they're at home, right? Empty units, and perhaps not so much in houses, but if you have a condo and it's naked, and I don't mean naked, I mean there's no furniture in it, virtual staging doesn't help. Now maybe it'll get some more people in, and maybe you can clean up pictures when the tenant's not so, I don't know, neat, or their furniture is bland, or you can add some art and it's a wonderful thing. But in the end, when the buyer comes into the unit, it's gonna look the way that it looks, right? So paying the details really matter. So if you're even a little bit like me and you're sitting there thinking, okay, what's going on here? You're trying to make sense of why your home isn't moving and what you should do next, reach out. I'm super approachable. I'll break it down for you clearly. We'll give you the straight facts, no fluff, no guessing, just a real evaluation of the situation, right? If you like real estate explained like a normal person, hit subscribe, like the video, and tell me, what do you think is the biggest reason homes are sitting right now? I'm Jill Biggs, and I'll see you in the next one.